So you've had a few rounds of IVF, and unfortunately, you've had recurrent miscarriage or very early chemical pregnancies or very early term miscarriage at 5, 6, 7 weeks. So let's talk about one of the questions that you should be asking your IVF doctor. My name is Nicole Stern. I'm the founder of Fertilista, and I coach women through the IVF process. We want to help support you and look at your case in an integrative way so we can help you achieve your happy, healthy pregnancy and baby. Okay, so one of the questions you're going to want to run by your IVF doctor is, should you be having an SHG? So likely when you had your initial consult with your IVF doctor, he or she would have ordered your day 3 labs, and then they also would have ordered an HSG, a Sonohysterogram. It's hard for me to say. I'm sure it's even harder for you to say. So they would have ordered this test so they could look at your fallopian tubes and your uterus, and just make sure that your fallopian tubes are clear and unblocked. Now, if you've passed that, likely they didn't do any more imaging. But if you've had a few rounds of IVF and you've been having chemical pregnancies, one of the things you might want to talk to your doctor about is an SHG. That's a Sonohysterogram. So the SHG actually does a better job at looking at your uterus. The imaging is much more clear and much more accurate. You're going to want to look at this, especially if you've had any previous pregnancies or babies. So if you're struggling with secondary infertility, where you had 1 or 2 children and you're struggling to get pregnant with subsequent children, sometimes it can change the landscape of our uterus. Also, if you were on an IUD for years and years and years, they want to make sure that you haven't had any polyps or any changes in your uterine cavity with fibroids or anything like that. So IUDs are great. They're the third most popular form of birth control in the United States, but they can sometimes create a little bit of inflammation in your lining, and so you just want to rule out any changes. You also want to make sure that if you've had any miscarriages, that there's no tissue retained. So talk to your doctor about having an SHG to rule out any changes in your uterine cavity. My name is Nicole Stern, founder of Fertilista. I hope you find this video helpful, and let's get you there to have a happy, healthy pregnancy.